Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of Delete Laws. What is going on out there in the land of the unfree America? Forgive me here while I do a couple of administrative things on the back end. How is everybody? Thank you guys for coming. This is an emergency broadcast that I did not plan on doing today. However, we have two of our own who are right now in a jail. And so I wanted to come on and immediately begin the process of helping these folks, and most of all, specifically, what I'm looking for is someone who's in Santa Fe, New Mexico. How is everybody? Everybody hit the like button. What is going on out there in the land of the unfree America? Welcome to another rendition of Delete Laws. My name is Chili DeCastro. I'm a constitutional law scholar. I will be your host tonight as we listen to the phone call directly from Letz, Otvo, and Brick Jonesy, who are right now in a jail cell. So we're going to get into that right now. Chevy is in the room. What's up with the Playboy, Chevy? Saw that. Good to see you. Team DLZ. Warren, Team DLZ, is in the room. Brandy OTVO is here. Julie Holland is here. Wes is in the room. Gloria is here. Mandatory myocarditis is here. Warren, there you are. Shake it like a salt shaker. There's Matt. I was tried to text you earlier and I couldn't find your number in my phone. So we're going to jump right into this, and there's no video. This is only an audio. Hopefully you guys can hear me and you can see me okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me and see me okay. So this video right now, we're looking for someone who's in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Someone who can go down to the courthouse tomorrow morning. Let's get into this video. I don't have a lot of time. I'm this close to finishing that damn board game. So let's get into this. So you're still in the jail now?
Yeah, I'm still in a holding cell right now. I'm sitting here in these winged cuffs inside of a cell. Like, where am I going to go? Why do I have to have cuffs on inside of a cell?
Do I got you back?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay,
so we went up to the Secretary of State's office window and had my camera and Brick had his. And I said, yeah, I'm here to put an IPRA request in. She looked at me and she says, are you filming me? I go, yeah. I says, I always film all my public employees in the performance of the duty. She came around from the back, came out into the lobby, hollered down to the security guard. The security guard started hollering up to us, telling us that we had to leave, actually disturbance. They came up, one of the security guards actually touched Brick, which was unlawful touching. Then the couple cops showed up. I used my charm and talked to them saying, look we came here to put in an IPRA request. Went through the whole 9 yards with them. The guy, one of the security guards, had an epiphany. And he says, well, that was wrong of her not to let you fill out your IPRA. I said, yeah. And now you're going to accuse us of being mad and causing a disturbance because we have a public employee of ours that's not going to make or take our IPRA request? That's against the law. It's being done in your presence, officers. I think you need to arrest them, right? So then he says, well, if you guys are going to be cool, you can go back to the window and film all you want, and afterwards you could leave. And I said, I'm only here to get my IPRA. So we stood there. Nobody came out. One of the security goes back there. He comes out with a paper telling us we can go online and do it, right? So we left under threat of arrest. We walked to a different building, just like before. This time we went to the Roundhouse, the actual state capitol building, legislators, because what had just happened to me, like before, I wanted to bring it to the attention of one of my representatives there. Of course, we get there, and it's one of the same cops is in there. Well, you guys have already been trespassed. I go, we were trespassed unlawfully. I'm here to see my legislature about that. Next thing you know, there's a bunch of cops. Of course, you know how Brick is. A lot of swearing was going on. And then under threat of arrest, we said we'd leave. We're walking out. We get 20 feet down the walkway. Stop, you're under arrest, right? It's all on camera. I'm sitting here in these winged cuffs inside of a cell. Like, where am I going to go? Why do I have to have cuffs on inside of a cell? Right?
Got it.
So I got a phone call in. He wanted an update on today on how we made out. But there was that one bitch at the Secretary of State's office that didn't want to be filmed and called armed people on us. Yeah.
So you're still in the jail now?
Yeah, I'm still in a holding cell right now. I just got off the phone with my wife. She's cool. I'm waiting to hear back on the attorney, and I figured I'd just let you know. I know there's not a whole lot you can do.
No, we'll get you out of jail. But so.
Oh, I brought $500 with me, so I don't know what the bail's going to be. But the officer's here now. I don't know if he just needs a signature from me on something. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. You're in jail. Okay. Are they going to let you go on your own? I'll wait. I'll hold. Go ahead. Talk to him.
Yeah. If you put that down here, I can sign. Trespass warning. Notice of trespass warning. Gives my address, all my stuff. State of New Mexico. Signature of recipient. That's me, I guess. And I'll print my name for them. I've already invoked my first, second, third, fourth, all my amendments. So, I've been.
This is an emergency broadcast. Everybody welcome Utah Defender. He's a freedom fighter, similar to Letz Otvo. Letz Otvo is in jail right now in Santa Fe, New Mexico, along with Brick Jonesy, who's in jail in Santa Fe, New Mexico right now. These are the recorded phone calls that I took just less than 1 hour ago.
Informed them that we were peaceful and that they've arrested me for having committed no crime other than the one that they created. So, it's going to be a good one. So I've been in cuffs for probably 2 hours already.
You're still in cuffs in the cell, but they let you keep your cell phone.
Right. Well, he just brought the cell phone in. I've just got my cell phone. That's why I'm just calling you. I called my wife first so she wouldn't worry about me. And she's cool. And I put a phone call in to Fred. Just
what's your date of birth?
July 15th, 19. Called EMS. They checked me out. EMS said they should bring me to the hospital. I went to the hospital. I saw a doctor. The doctor ran me through the drug program thing there. They saw that I'm on prescribed meds. She prescribed me one pill that I had with me in my car, but they wouldn't let me go back to my car to get it because they didn't know what I'd be taking. So anyway, it all at the Capitol today in 2 different locations. I went to the vet center first, but there was nobody there. And anyway.
Okay. All right, Tom. Let me call Brick, and I'll call you back. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Okay. What's your date of birth, Matthew Jones? Did they say they're gonna release you on your own recognizance, or they're gonna hold you?
Hey, James. Chili, how are you, man?
She just said that they will.
Good. I'm live. If you don't mind, I'll put your voice on the broadcast if that's okay. Oh, what happened? Is your channel? Oh, is your channel okay though? Okay. Cool. That'd be amazing, James. I appreciate it. I was looking actually for a journalist or someone in Santa Fe, New Mexico, because 2 of our people got arrested today, and they're in jail in Santa Fe. Can I call you back in about 4 or 5 minutes? Yeah, I'll leave my phone on right in front of me. All right, let me wrap stuff up with dinner real quick. I'll play back. Okay, thanks. Bye. So that was James Freeman. I just gave him a call. He is in New Mexico, I think, somewhere in New Mexico, but I want to get a journalist out there to their court hearing in the morning so that we can make sure that we have someone on the ground. And if they have a bond tomorrow, we will do a fundraiser tomorrow morning and we will raise the money for that bond tomorrow morning. So everybody get ready. Tomorrow, I may be hitting you up early in the morning and saying, get your wallet out. I need you to pitch in to get Letz Otvo and Brick Jonesy out of jail. They are in jail right now in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We are looking right now and I just called Freeman, and he said he'll call me right back. He's doing some stuff with his channel right now, so he's going to call me back in a few minutes. But we're looking for a journalist in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So I see a few of you in the crowd, New Hampshire, the Vigilance Committee, Kevin Brzezinski. It's nice to see everybody. Thank you for coming. Think of your sources, tap your sources. Who do we know that's in Santa Fe? BZ Watchdog, I spoke to him earlier. Let me see if I can. We got to get somebody over there to make sure that we know if we need to raise the bond money for Brick and for Letz OTVO. We do not leave people in jail. We don't do that. You guys got me out of that dungeon. You guys crowdfunded my attorney. You guys crowdfunded me. And I am so grateful. It is unbelievable. I'm so grateful that you guys helped me so much and got me out of that dungeon. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to do it. It was too much money. It ended up being $75,000 by the time I paid all the lawyers to get me out, and to get my lawyer in Ohio in case they were going to try to put me through what do they call that? What did he say they called that? When they put you on a bus and then you beat around a bus. Okay, good, BZ. So we need to tap our sources. BZ said he may have somebody in New Mexico. We need to make sure that we have somebody in New Mexico to get to that court hearing tomorrow morning, just so that we know if Tom Perwinski or if Matthew Jones, if either one of them. And here's Matthew's recording.
Hold us until the morning. And we'll see the judge if we disorderly and that sort of thing. So,
good to see you, Chris Boudreau.
And criminal trespass. And it will be, it should be released from there because it's state police. So they will have to transport to the county for that. So yeah.
Good. I'm not happy you're in jail, but I'm glad this happened. This exposes that you don't have any rights in America.
Yeah. And we both have it recorded. We have the one from, I guess that it's the same building. They have like an annex.
I got you back, James.
So we went into one.
I got a couple hundred people live right now. I just want to see if maybe you knew somebody in Santa Fe, New Mexico, that we could get over to that court hearing in the morning to make sure that those guys aren't going to have a bond to get out of jail.
I don't know. I'll call one guy. I'm not over there.
Right.
I'll call one guy, but I'll also call my attorneys that help me out in New Mexico.
Okay.
Somebody texted me something about this earlier, said that they were arrested, that two people were arrested for asking for public records at the state capitol.
Yeah.
But I asked for a link and nobody ever sent me anything. Is there video of it?
I don't have a video of it yet. They have it on their phones. They took the videos on their phones. The guy's name is Tom Perwinski and Matthew Jones, and I have their date of birth and everything. And I know that they went over to the city building in Santa Fe to get records. Then they went over to the Capitol building to ask because Tom Perwinski, who's Letz OTVO, he wanted to make sure that he could talk to a state representative about ensuring that his rights were upheld, and they arrested him. So it's like, it's just this constant war on us. That's, that it's just this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Tom Perwinski and Matthew Jones. How did anyone even find out that they were arrested?
So the guard gave them their phone to make a phone call, and they called me. And they called me an hour ago. And they have Tom, he's born in 57, so that makes him 67 or 68 years old or something like that. So they have him in cuffs. They've had him in cuffs for 3 hours inside the cell, in the hinge cuffs, the ones that don't oscillate, so they just dig into your wrist. They have him in those cuffs right now inside the jail cell.
Okay.
Just has me incensed,
You know what charges they're allegedly facing?
Criminal trespassing charges.
Oh gosh. Oh boy. Okay.
I know it. I know it. I know this is your neck of the woods, though, so I wanted to reach out to you. Thanks for taking my call and jumping in the fight. You know.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I'll do what I can. I will.
Sure.
So are they? Do you know if they're booked in to an actual jail yet, county jail, or are they kind of just in a holding cell nearby the Capitol?
So Brick Jonesy, I have a recording that I'm playing right now for the crowd, and there's only like 10 minutes of recording. I'll you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to release it publicly right now, James, so that way you can hear it yourself and you can listen to what they said, and maybe you'll get some information out of it. That I'm just going to release this right this second out into the public.
All right, I'll just take that link and I'll send it over to the attorneys that always help me out over there, because there's a team of them that help us out, different guys who know different areas. Anyways.
Right. That's what we need. We need people. I'm going to copy this link and I'll text this link over to you. Should I email or text?
Text.
Okay. Let me text this to you right now. And then if you know those people, what I really want to get more than anything else is I want to get a journalist over there, activist over there for the morning court, because if they're going to be held on bond, then I'm going to do a fundraiser early tomorrow morning to get them out of that dungeon.
Okay, I will reach out to a guy that used to go by Savage Mexican on YouTube. I'm not sure if that's still his channel. I think he might have changed the name.
Savage Mexican, I love it.
I don't know if you've seen his stuff before, but I worked with him out there quite a bit. He's a good guy. I'll reach out to him. I know he works full time, so I'll see if he can get up there, though, or if he knows anybody else who can. Charles ANCAP Cop Watch is another one who's out there. So I'll reach out to them, man. I'll get back to you in a couple minutes. How's that sound?
Okay, I'll be here. I'm live right now, so I'll look forward to your phone call.
Can I give these guys your direct number?
Absolutely.
Okay.
My number's on the internet, so I can't stop it. All right, James. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, bye.
That was James Freeman on the line. Thanks, William Beltrain, for the Cash App. So appreciate that, William. Thanks for your support. We don't stop. Vigilance Committee. Vigilance Committee said he put in 100. Yeah, any money you guys send me, put Let's OTVO or Brick, and I will send every single penny directly to them tomorrow morning, whether that's for a bond or whether that's just their money. It's not my money. Any donations that come in tonight for Let's OTVO or Brick Jones will go directly to them. Utah Defender, I'll check my Cash App right now and see if you sent me 100 over for them. Thanks, I appreciate that. But I don't want to start a fundraiser yet until we know whether or not I got that. Walt is Utah Defender. Yeah, that's right. Oh my God. So New Mexico Tony just said, Let's OTVO just went to the hospital with chest pains. Does anybody recognize that account? Can one of the moderators click on that account and see if that account was? Gotcha. Of course, when someone goes to jail. Hey, I'm live, Bobby. What's going on?
What's up, champ?
Good. I got you live so people can hear you talking. I'm just
okay.
I'm just checking on. Well, I'm preparing to make sure that we get a fundraiser ready to go for the morning if they have to pay bond to get them out of jail. So
okay, I think it's a good idea. I mean, that's what's going to happen in the morning. There's going to be a bond hearing. I was looking over the New Mexico statutes, and I've gone over a lot of things with them about what goes on there. One of the number one things about New Mexico, according to Article 20, Section 1, is that anybody that functions any public capacity, whether elected or appointed, they're supposed to get an oath of office and have it filed. Well, none of the Albuquerque police apparently have an oath of office. This is how this started, because we spoke yesterday. I said, go up there and get their oaths of office, including the police chiefs, which was their plan. Now,
slow down. So you spoke to Letz and to Brick yesterday, and you said, head up to the Capitol building and get the police chiefs in Albuquerque's get their oath of office because they don't have an oath of office on file. Is that what you just said?
That's exactly what I said. As a matter of fact, to give a little backstory here is with their situation, because they're looking at a federal lawsuit against the Albuquerque Police Department, is that people came onto their property without exigent circumstances of emergency, without permission or warrant. They came on there on Lentz's property just to harass them at the behest of a sheriff's office over in Florida. So I said, well, that's a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment because what they're doing is misusing their positions to harass you. But long story short, bring it up to date. They were trying to get the oaths of office of these people, which they're required to have by law. And in New Mexico, if I'm talking too fast, slow me down. In New Mexico, anybody that has to have an oath of office, and according to Article 20, Section 1, says that everybody elected or appointed, that means police officers, deputy clerks, everybody, sheriffs deputies, they all have to have oaths of office. And they have to be sworn to and subscribed. Now, these oaths are supposed to be stored with the Secretary of State. Now, if these people do not sign their oath of office, this is where it gets fun. They do not hold official capacity. If they don't have them signed and filed within 10 days, they do not hold official capacity. And the police chief told them, or a lieutenant told them, nobody in the police department in Albuquerque has a subscribed oath of office anywhere. They do a ceremonial swearing according to the state statute of what the oath of office is supposed to be. And that's it. So I said, no, that's actually acting outside their official capacity. And they're just like some random person impersonating a public official.
Give me that. Give me that statute again. You said it was what?
It's under the state constitution, Article 20, Section 1.
New Mexico, Article 20, Section.
XX, Section 1. And then I can get the other statutes for you. I'm not near my computer, but I can get those to you, and I will get those over to you that actually describe what the oath is, and that they're supposed to be filed within 10 days after subscribing to the oath.
Okay, let me read this for you. Oath of officers. Every person elected or appointed to any office shall, before entering upon his duties, take and subscribe an oath or affirmation that he will support the Constitution of the United States, God bless, and the Constitution and the laws of this state, and that he will faithfully and impartially discharge duties of his office to the best of his ability. What it means is that it requires all public officers in New Mexico, whether they're elected or appointed, they must take an oath to support the Constitution. This is pretty standard language. And
it's every state, and it's federal under United States Code Title V. We the people don't want anybody that steps into public service to function without an oath. Now, there are some situations where they have what's called a supervisory oath they work under, but that oath is mandatory so our government does not overthrow the people. And that's what's been happening. Now, if what I'm hearing is correct over there in New Mexico and Albuquerque, which is a very liberal state, a bunch of retards are there in power. These people are saying, no, we don't need to take an oath. We just need to have a ceremonial swearing, and then we just go on about our business. But remember the authority of law. You go from whatever the statutes are that have to be in compliance with the state constitution, which has to be in compliance with the federal constitution. Because Article 6 of the federal constitution says that this constitution, blah, 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 is made therefrom, so on and so on, is the supreme law of the land. It's called the Supremacy Clause. And every constitution in every state recognizes in the preamble or in the first article of their state constitutions, it said, we the people of the state of recognize the United States Constitution as ratified in 1791 as the supreme law of the land. And that their constitution has to be in accordance with that.
Okay, so I put this into ChatGPT, and it says here, I said, what if they never took the oath? The oath is mandatory to hold office. Without taking the oath, the person has not fully assumed the office. This means any actions they take in that role could be challenged as void or invalid because they were never legally empowered. No oath equals no authority. New Mexico law and the courts across the country have consistently ruled that the oath is a conditioned precedent, meaning that you can't legally perform the duties of an office until you take the oath. And so, go ahead.
There you go. And in New Mexico, it says that they have 10 days to have that filed, and it's filed where? Apparently in the Secretary of State's office. That's why they were up there. If there's no oath there, and it's not housed where it's supposed to be, or anywhere else where it's authorized by law, These people do not hold official capacity. It's a condition of employment. And that means their duties. And I'm going to give you a little backstory here. There was a gentleman a few years back. His name was Frank over in southern Colorado. His grandson got pulled over and issued a ticket by a cop. And he called me up. He wanted to fight it. And I said, well, the first thing you do is go pull their oath of office. Let's make sure they hold official capacity. They pulled his oath of office, and his oath of office in Colorado was for a jailer. And I said, well, he doesn't hold official capacity to issue citations. And he'd been arresting people and issue citations for 6 months. We filed a lawsuit in the southern part of Colorado to have every single thing that he had done overturned. We did that through a petition for a writ of mandamus. And the judge in the court case, we got a directed verdict in the case, have its ticket over dismissed, but we went after him. And so what they did is they went ahead and released that guy, and I don't know where he went, but they the district attorney went ahead and went through all these records, and they went ahead and refunded money and dismissed every case they could. There was not a lot. There's probably like 147 of them, but that's how powerful this is. That means and then Albuquerque has a problem with DUI arrests, which is common around the country, because they get federal funding for pulling people over and arresting them for DUI. So they get extra budget money in their municipal accounts for the police departments or the sheriff departments or even state patrol, so they can buy all kinds of special little presents for themselves. And Albuquerque's got a problem with this. Well, guess what? If these people don't hold official capacity, that's like, Joe Lunchbucket stepping out of the bar and coming out and saying, let me put a clown uniform on and start pulling people over and think just because they have a police car or something that looks like that and have a uniform on that they've got vested lawful authority from the people, which they do not have. So this is why I wanted them to get the oaths of office, because I said, we've got an issue here.
Oh, because they went to their house under official capacity, but if they don't have an oath to office, according to you and to artificial intelligence, then anything they do is not valid because they are not an officer of the law. They have no powers bestowed upon them.
There you go. They're just some random person. Now, at at Tom's house, what they did is I watched the body cam footage. They came onto his property. They were banging on his door, damaged his door, but they took a flashlight and were peering into his house. Now, remember, you have to look at the totality of the circumstances. There's no emergency, no exigent circumstances of emergency. They're not in possession of a warrant. Then they weren't invited onto the property. So what are they doing there? Well, now they have to explain why they're doing this. Some random Joe comes up there. Peering is a crime. That's at least a misdemeanor, And if you look at the actual paperwork, which you haven't seen, and I'm sorry, my head's going all over the place. I'm
sorry.
That's okay.
That's okay. There's a few hundred people listening. So
the paperwork they got from Levy County, Florida, actually said do a 1025 on this 1034. Now, if you look at the police code, 1034 means open door or open window for a riot. And 1025 means confirm the location of somebody. So what they were trying to do is they used the good old boy system to contact somebody in another state to just go up there and randomly check on somebody. And they described, they argued differently why they were there. They said, there was a disturbance. Well, who called in? Nobody. They just said, we just wanted to confirm this guy was at this place, at this particular residence.
Did they ever tell the cops to leave their curtilage or leave their front porch in that video?
They were only there for 3 minutes, according to the body cam footage, and then they left. So they didn't get a chance. They were sleeping. And except for his wife apparently saw, according to her statement, saw them. Couldn't see they were because the blinds were partially closed, shining flashlights into the windows in the living room, and I think on the side of the house. And then they left. They were there for 3 minutes, and then they left. And they were parked down the street a little ways in their cars, and they went there and they started talking. That's when Lance and Brixie went outside. And
because if they told him to leave, that's going to be the 2023 case of Brizuela versus City of Sparks.
Brizuela versus Sparks.
Brizuela, Brizuela.
Yeah, they didn't get a chance to say anything, but yeah, you would be absolutely correct.
One second.
They didn't have that opportunity.
I mean,
so
go ahead, Bob.
The real foundation, is anytime a peace officer comes onto your property, now they're allowed, if there's a walkway or something like that, assuming there's no trespassing signs, they can walk up to your house and knock on the door, just like anybody else, like the mailman or anybody else. It's called, reasonable access. And that's why you have the walkway and everything there. But when they start peering, then there has to be an explanation. Why are you doing this? And the whole foundation for their presence there is invalid. There's no reason for them to be there. They had no reason to be there other than to menace and harass these people. Now, if we did that, that would be a crime. And I promise you that there's sufficient reasonable, articulable suspicion, if not probable cause, to justify a detainment, if not an arrest. And if it was a Joe random person, Tom can actually make a criminal statement, an affidavit of complaint against these people. If it was just a non-police officer, which if they don't have an oath of office, they are, and have them arrested for peering and trespassing on their property.
Prowling at the very least. Let me pop in this 2023 case of Brizuela versus City of Sparks, just so we can kind of get a little bit of background here. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals addressed several critical issues arising from the fatal shooting of Rolando Brizuela at the City of Sparks, July 17th, 2018. Officer Brian Sullivan and Eli Molly approached Brizuela's residence to investigate reported theft. Upon arrival, they encountered Brizuela on his enclosed front porch. Despite Brizuela's repeated requests for the officers to leave and his assertion that they needed a warrant, the officers persisted. The situation escalated when Brizuela displayed a firearm, leading the cops to fatally shoot him. Subsequently, Brizuela filed a lawsuit alleging Fourth Amendment and Second Amendment and 14th Amendment violations. The Fourth Circuit unreasonable seizures. The court affirmed that the front porch qualifies as curtilage and the area immediately surrounding a home that carries privacy protections. The officer's warrantless entry and detention of Brizuela on the curtilage, absent exigent circumstances, like you just said, or consent constituted a violation of the Fourth Amendment. The excessive force claim. Deprivation of rights, Second Amendment right to bear arms. Subsequent proceedings, the City of Sparks and the involved officers sought review by filing a writ of certiorari to the Supreme Court. The petition was docketed February 6, 2024. The Supreme Court denied the petition, thereby upholding the Ninth Circuit's decision that your front porch and your yard is curtilage, and if they don't have a warrant and it's not exigent where someone's life is on the line, they have to leave.
Or invitation. Yeah, absolutely right. So, yeah, and by the way, I'm glad you're putting that out there because everybody should know that.
Yeah.
I've been in a situation where I invited the police to come on my property to remove somebody who wouldn't leave. And when the cop showed up, the guy said, "Okay, I'm going to leave. And the cop got in a discussion with this guy. And the cop says, "Well, hey, why don't you just let him hang around for a little while? He's got nowhere to go." And I said, "Listen, brother, you're kicked off my property too. So once you get your dumb out," but you called me. And I said, "Yeah, now I'm uncalling you. Get out of here before I sue you."
Right.
So he went ahead and left. But most people don't know that anybody that comes on your property, you have the right to, number one, ask them to leave. And if they don't leave, you can use reasonable and necessary force to remove them, which means, for those of you who are listening, if you want a little training tip, you grab them by the wrist or underneath the arm and the back of their pants and you lift them up. A true story. That's how you do it. I mean, I was talking to a cop about that over in Hawaii, and because we stopped an illegal repossession over there. By the way, we stopped all repossessions, and if anybody is listening to this, I know my buddy, our brother Ismael, is listening. I just got a text from him, Chili.
Okay.
Is that repossessions, when you tell them to leave, are illegal if they don't, and you can use reasonable force to remove them from your property.
Right.
They don't remember this. Repossessions. I'm probably going all over the map, or you don't want that.
No, that's fine. It's fine. I like the information, and I studied Brizuela in great detail and the jurisprudence of Brizuela, which I'll be teaching in Constitution headquarters. So,
awesome.
I mean, we're going to print today. We're printing the cards up today so that we can get this game done. Yeah, bro.
That's
I've been working nonstop. I'm exhausted, and this just happened. So
wow.
I just found out.
You know, Brizuela is perfect. I mean, I'm telling you, if you don't want somebody on your property, including police or any official, or somebody who's dressed as an official who does not necessarily hold official capacity, they have to leave. It's part of the castle doctrine.
Right.
And that is basically that the castle is there to protect the blood of the people. And if somebody doesn't, then they cross the boundaries of the castle, which includes the curtilage, which is a threshold yard or anything like that. It's the property boundary.
So do you know,
they don't leave.
is the New Mexico state capitol dependent on time, place, or manner? Because that's the jurisprudence of the 10 different circuit court cases as your right to be in the First Amendment, which I'll be teaching on Constitution headquarters coming up. Game's going to be printed out by this weekend. I'm actually going to show you how the game works this weekend. But do you know of any statutes or codes that would create a limitation to time, place, or manner by filming in the state capital of New Mexico?
No, there is nothing. There's nothing. During regular business hours, there's nothing that prevents them. And they cannot be charged with a criminal trespass either on public property. I've read all the statutes on there in New Mexico, and it specifically refers to a criminal trespass can only be made on private property, and in some situations, public property, such as schools and so on like that. Certain things, and that requires your presence there being during a specific time. But during normal business hours, there is nothing. And I think, what is that, the 10th Circuit? I think New Mexico, Colorado, New Mexico, Colorado, who else is over there in the 10th? Oklahoma.
Yep, Oklahoma's. Mm-hmm. Let me read this real quick. It says, I asked it the time, place, or manner to record in the New Mexico State Capitol, any limitations in that regard. And it said, great question, Playboy. Let's break down whether there are any limitations on time, place, or manner in the New Mexico State Capitol. Number one, New Mexico Open Meetings Act. New Mexico has a strong public access law in the Open Meetings Act, which generally guarantees the public's right to attend and record public meetings of government bodies, including legislative sessions or committee hearings. Key takeaways: the public has the right to record public legislative proceedings. That includes committee hearings in Florida's time, place, and manner. Even though you have a right to record, government buildings like the Capitol can impose reasonable time, place, or manner restrictions to ensure safety and order. But he was only filming the clerk. And then it said examples of reasonable: no recording in certain secure areas. Tom was not recording in any secure areas. No interfering with official proceedings. There was no interference. No blocking entrances, exits, or hallways. Tom or Brick would not do that. Recording, we know that from me going to jail, you can't get between the public official and the duty they're trying to perform. Recording cannot disrupt ongoing meetings or cause safety issues. There is no safety issue here. What they cannot do: blanket bans on recording in public areas like hallways, lobbies, and public chambers. New Mexico cannot ban official public recordings like hearings or legislative sessions, cannot discriminate based on content, meaning they can't say you can't record because they don't like your point of view, which is exactly what they did.
Bam.
And so
and go ahead, keep going.
And then it said the Legislative Council Service sets rules for behavior inside the roundhouse. Here's what they allow and restrict. Recording is allowed in public committee hearings and floor sessions. Press has a designated press gallery. Public can use phones and cameras as long as they don't disrupt the proceedings. No recording is allowed in some private areas, but the window to the clerk's office is not a private area, obviously. Legislative offices without consent, restrooms, or secured legislative work areas. Go ahead.
There you go. I'm telling you, and what's interesting about the right to record, it's been ruled on in the 1st, the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, the 9th, the 11th, I think the 4th, and maybe the 6th. It's most of the positive number, which is really weird to me, the positive number appellate courts, the United appellate courts. The even number ones are the ones that haven't all come on board yet. weird to me. But they're in the 10th Circuit, and if they don't have it clearly established, bravo, they're going to prevail in this because there's enough persuasive case law in all these other circuits to demonstrate they had a perfectly good right to be there, to record, do what they were doing. It was constitutionally protected. And, this is going to be big. I'm going to tell you what, Chile, I think we hit them for 7 figures.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly established, 7 figures, clearly civil rights lawsuit. I don't give a shit what they do tomorrow. They're going to release them on their own recognizance. If they don't, then it's just being, the judge is is committing an abuse of discretion because they were not armed. They didn't threaten anybody. They were in a place where they had a right to be. They were doing nothing more than recording. And if they were doing anything else, it was only speaking, which again is constitutionally protected unless they were using fighting words or farting words.
No. I'm sure Brick's language was dirty, but Chevy just threw in 100. Raddick, a.k.a. Ski, threw in 100. Roger Lane just bought 20 memberships. Every dime, including membership money, is going to Tom and Brick. Whether we have to pay for a bond tomorrow, I just give them the money from the value of that. I'm going to help these guys. Every super chat here goes out to these guys. I think
you're a champ, Chili. You're a champ. I've known you for a while, and you've been a godsend to way too many people. A lot of people, but unfortunately, there were way too many people didn't appreciate the value of what you do in your heart.
They do now. It's changing.
Awesome people.
It's changing. I appreciate the kind words, my friend, but it is changing. I go into all kinds of, and Roger Lane also just donated as well. So we have a few $100. I hope they don't have a heavy bond in the morning. I hope that they are able to be released on their own recognizance. Either way, though, they're going to have a few $100 to put towards their toward their lawyer or toward whatever it is. It doesn't matter. I'm just a conduit right now, collecting money to give to these guys. So when they get out of jail, it wasn't for nothing. And they know that people believe in them. So if you throw in $5, $10, $20, $30, whatever you put in, this is going to Tom and to Brick. So that's just the way it has to be. And as you know, Bobby, we're working on something right now to create a really cool crowdfunding apparatus. And
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
People don't know about it yet. I haven't said anything yet, but they're going to find out.
Game changer.
Game changer. It's a total game changer. It'll change the game for all journalists, all of us. Everybody who ever gets arrested, everybody who ever gets wrongfully put in a dungeon. I have created a way to get anybody out of jail anywhere in the country.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait for that to come out.
I cannot
and a thought
wait.
just popped in my head here going to and I don't want to detract from them because everybody who's listening, what Chili's talking about is something that is revolutionary and incredibly necessary. It's going to change your confidence level when you're out there recording, because you will know that people have your back. You have nothing to worry about. You got nothing to worry about.
I won't have to come on here and e-beg and beg people to, and by the way, I don't have to e-beg. The donations just started rolling in. As soon as I turned it on, William Beltrain sent me money, and then people started sending me $5, $10 on Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. And then there's some super chats coming in. I didn't have to ask. It just started happening. There's people, Kevin Brzezinski's in here, Steve Conkler's in here, Wanda Meese, Complying Board, all these people, David, New York, an activist, he's in here, Tommy Woods in here, Sacramento Lenny is in here. So Jody's in here. We have so many good people in here. So if anybody is local to Santa Fe, New Mexico, James Freeman's about to call me back. I know he was dealing with some stuff on his YouTube page, so I'm waiting to hear back from him.
Jam the court tomorrow. Jam the court.
Yeah,
when I went to court, there was over 100 people there. They couldn't even fit them all in the courtroom. They're out in the hall rooms and everything because they wanted to hear what I was going to say in court. They tried to arraign me 7 times, and I said, no, you can't arraign me because the complaint has to be supported by an affidavit. There has to be a competent firsthand material fact witness who's given sworn testimony and is competent to test to those facts before a judge or someone who can take that sworn statement. And without that, I can only be here by special appearance. You can't arraign me. You can't offer me. I know you put your robes on, you want to fly around up there, but you can't arraign me without a valid complaint.
Right.
I move for a directed verdict of dismissal. There's nothing before the court.
Moderators, moderators, put up my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. Everybody, put one of the moderators put up my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. Let's raise these guys some money, even if it's only a few $100. Let's get some money going for these guys. So, William Santos, you can also go to my website, deletelaws.com. On your donation, make sure you put Let's OTVO or Brick, either one. Put Let's and Brick bail. So let's get some money raised for these guys. So when they get out tomorrow, I would love to have $500 to put in their hand and say, hey, thanks, appreciate you guys actually going there. Because if Bobby, if they don't have their oath for office, and according to the Open Meetings Act in New Mexico,
the Open Meetings Act, in the government code, in the Constitution,
they have every right to be there. They have every right to be in that room. And I don't understand what's going on. I do understand what's going on. It's a war against transparency is what it is. It's a war
against the First Amendment and transparency. It is the most heavily under attack because that is what all of our other constitutional guarantees rest upon. Without the first, we don't have anything. And remember, the foundation of the First Amendment goes back to what our founding fathers were living through when King George was the King of England. You did not have freedom of religion because they had a state religion. You had to be a part of it. Number two is they would interfere with how you worshiped as well. The freedom of speech. If you said anything against the king or any of his lords or anything like that, they could bring a criminal charge against you for maligning them, and they could throw your ass in the tank and hold you as long as they wanted to. That's where we get the Sixth Amendment. All these things were passed because we were living under tyranny. And it wasn't an accident. And that's why we have this. The freedom of the press, which means they couldn't restrict the gathering and sharing of information. The right of people peaceably to assemble. We have the right to assemble, and not because they used to restrict how many people could be in one place at one time. This was all happened. They pulled that BS over during COVID.
Yeah.
No more than 7 people, but King George was doing this at just 15 years before they put together the Constitution, a little more.
Right.
And then the next part is the right to redress your grievances. There was no redress. You were screwed. Whatever they did, you suffered. So those are the 5 elements of the First Amendment. Congress shall make no establishment of religion or prohibit the free exercise thereof, or the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and the right of the people to redress their grievances against their government. Their government, not their government. We own these things. We own our government. And that's the big problem. People don't understand that we, the people who created the Constitution, created ownership of our government. So we would never be subservient to it. And this is one of the things these people cannot stand. Anyway, I'm talking too much.
No, you're not. Bobby, go ahead. Go off, brother. People love the patriotism. People, listen, I watched Trump's speech yesterday, and then I watched the rebuttal from the Democrats, and the Democrats are so lost. They don't know how to fight back against this guy. Let me tell you what the Democrats do. You grab the Constitution, and you say, this is our guiding light. We're going back to this because we've lost our way.
You got to wonder why they don't.
Well, because they don't care. They don't want the Constitution either. They want to be in power.
There you go.
That's all they care about.
There you go. That's it. It's all some type of, controverted fascism. But anyway, we the people own our government. That's why we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, we the people created that Constitution. We did this. We created Article 1. So we have a legislative branch. So we have a representative government. We created Article 2. So we have one person that's elected as the head of the executive branch and the things that flow through there. And then we also created through Article 3 the legislative branch, the judicial branch. And those things create the separation of powers of the parts of the government. So no independent part of the government can have more power than the next. If the Supreme Court makes a ruling that the people don't like, we go back to our legislators and say, now pass a law that buries this. So the Supreme Court can't do that.
Right.
And most people don't understand how the checks and balances work. But we have to be the oversights. We have a civic duty to one another to make sure that our government does not become our oppressor.
Right.
And that's where the people have fallen asleep at the wheel, because we have a public school system that indoctrinates you not to be creative, not to be independent, not to be a free thinker, not to be, spiritual. They want you to be a conformist, and they want you to live in fear. All through school, you look at how it all is. They want you to live in fear. Teachers, I'm an educator, really. And this is something most people don't know. School teachers have to swear the oath of office and have it filed.
Right.
Why? We require that because they have our most precious asset, our children, that they're going to be instructing the way we want. And now all these microcosms of government are trying to be their own entity that nobody tells them what to do.
Right.
There is no supervision. There is nothing. That's the problem. The biggest problem I see with the government is that every branch, every agency in office thinks we don't answer to anybody. And I'll tell you one time, the opposite side of this is I went over to, because I've been out there as a patriot battling for people for 15 years and more. And we have won thousands and thousands of cases. We have helped a lot of people, teach them how to fight their criminal cases pro se. I can look at a criminal case and look at the totality of the circumstances, and I can tell you in less than 5 minutes what you can expect. And you never have to worry about this stuff. They want you to be panicked. They want you to be in fear of your court system, which is insane. We created the court system to make sure that we have substantial justice. The person sitting on the bench has to have his oath of office. The judges have at least two. One is that they don't take bribes and everything. The other one is the general oath. So they're to be our neutral third-party arbiter up there.
They're not, though. They're not at all. I got this graphic up here for New Mexico. This is your First Amendment protected rights: public hearings, floor sessions, public hallways, and then the only place that has a limitation is a legislator's office, which they were at the clerk window, so they were not inside of any restricted area at all whatsoever. So.
Wow, go ahead.
No, it's just, just the plain simple fact is that they want to limit our ability to have transparency within our government. And for each and every one of you people out there who want to go out and film cops, but you're afraid of retribution, we are less than 4 weeks away where we will have a site where you will always be protected. You won't have to have someone like myself who will go live when you get arrested. It'll already be done through technology. And we've been working on this since I got out of the dungeon. And he knows about it, and Letz knows about it, and a few people who are inside really close to me, Team DLZ, that every day we have a Wednesday meeting, those folks know about it. And so we do actually have something coming out that even if you're not an activist, we're going to get you out of jail. And you don't have to call anybody. It's all technology. So it's coming.
Yeah, so awesome.
And I finished this whole concept in jail. So yeah.
You got plenty of time to think in there.
I was laying there, man, and I just thought to myself, how do we make it? Because what I keep hearing on court cases and when I watch the videos is the cop will say, I didn't know who he was. And the cop can say, oh, I'm going to arrest him. That's going to change. And then I saw James Freeman one time, and he was in Brownsville, Texas. And all of a sudden I see a live come on, and I turn it on, and he said, hey, I'm just going to go live here real quick in case they arrest me. With this new system that we've devised here, you no longer have to go live. You can be arrested, and then you don't got to call your mom, your sister, or your brother. We'll get you out of jail. It's really going to change the fucking game, bro. It is going to change. And by the way, it's not just for activists. It's for all persons. So
that makes it even better.
Yeah. Now, activists are. I'm not going to go into too much. I'm not going to go into too many details. This is the most I've ever said about this. So I think I've probably said too much. I just want to keep it tucked under my hat. But we have a full board of directors where we're going to pay for people's lawyers. We've created a crowdfunding device, is what we've done, a technology. So I can't wait for this to come out. And I talked to one of our other friends today. I talked to him on the phone before I got the phone call from Letz. We talked for 30 minutes, and I said, when is this going to be done? And he said, we will be done with it before April 1st. We'll have it all done before April 1st. So, and those are
that's so awesome.
and both of those guys are working for pennies. I mean, one of the two guys won't take a dime. I can't pay him any money.
Wow.
He won't take a dime. He's like, I'm not going to take your money. Build this thing, and then you can back bill. I'll back bill some money for all the hours he's put in. But it's really crazy. It's really crazy. And I want to pinch myself because this board game's coming out and this new technology is coming out. And I'm like a hamster on a wheel right now, just running. Because right now, if Let's TVO and Brick if they didn't get their phones to call me, nobody would know they're in jail in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Wow.
Nobody would know they're in jail. But now with this new system, you're going to know they're in jail immediately, right away. You're going to know immediately. So, oh wow, we just went to dark screen. Cool. So, anyway.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it just.
Oh, I see it. Way cool.
Okay, cool. Super stoked. Thanks for all the super chats. I have not been keeping up or calling out names. Roger, Claudette, Chevy, what's up, Playboy? Dan Hanlon, William Beltrain, so many people. So good to see us complying, Borg. I always love seeing Pro Say David in here. He's filed a Second Amendment civil rights lawsuit. And then I don't know, Roger Lane. You know what? Let me let you go. I'm going to call Letz's wife right now. Okay.
Okay, brother.
Love you, man.
Love you guys. I'm going to be out in Albuquerque next week.
Yep. I'll see you soon.
Okay, man. Love you.
Okay. Bye, buddy.
Take care, brother.
That's the one, David. That's the name of my company is Ethics. Got you, Brandy. I got Northeast Colorado Cop Block just donated. Grateful Dabs just donated. Gloria Adkins just donated. Julie Holland just donated. Colin Drum just donated. William Beltrain, Walt James English donated. Radoslaw donated. Kareem Mohammed donated. All those people donated. Alan Hubbs. I'm getting a text from you right now, Alan. Okay, and then I got BZ Watchdog, who said that he's 42 miles away right now. Let me check PayPal. Chevy Bucks just donated. Thank you, Chevy. Refreshing here. I've got again, Small Miracle Garages just donated. Charles Phillips, Chuck just threw in a couple $100. $200 from a guy who is a middle class blue collar worker. Just threw in $200. Dan Hanlon, I got Dan Hanlon just donated. Thank you, Dan Hanlon. I'm just reading off names of people who sent in money. And so let me just keep looking here. Let me just keep on going through my stuff here. Let me open up Cash App now because I only have those two open right now. Let me see the transactions here. Jeff Bacone just threw in 100. Dan Hanlon, 50. Cope Doggy Dog just donated. Cope Doggy Dog, appreciate you. Cope's Dog is not even in the chat. I haven't even seen his name pop up in the chat. Thank you, Jeff Bacone. I appreciate it. Let's check Cash App real quick and see what's on Cash App right now. We have Walt, we have Gloria, we got Northeast Colorado Cop Block. Wow, super great. We've raised these guys some money so that they don't think it's for naught. So let me right now give a call over real quick here. I'm going to call Tom's wife. Tom is Let's TVO. Claudette, thank you. Hey, this is Chili.
Hi, Chili.
Hi, how you doing? What's your name?
Pardon?
Mrs. Porwitsky?
Yeah, Wendy. You're on live, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm on live. I got you live right now. I was just calling to see if you had any update about Tom. The Riddler just donated. We've raised at least probably $400 or $500, probably 500 at least so far. I'll put a screenshot up on my community page tomorrow. But every dime is going to go to Letz and to Brick. You know how
I'm watching you, and BZ has called me, and I was a little worried when somebody had said something about he went to the hospital. Yeah, he went to the hospital, but it wasn't for chest pains. It was because he's on pain pills. he's on medication for pain,
Right.
chronic pain.
Right. I know about that. He told me about it.
Yeah. So he had only taken it at around 6 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
So he says, I gotta have some pain. So they had the EMTs, they had people there, and to check on him and the nurses and everything, and so they had to send him to the hospital in order to be able to get pain meds.
That is just, Devin, thank you for the membership. I'm forwarding that money to Let's OTVO. Sevenfold threw in a couple of bucks. Thank you. The Riddler is constantly throwing in 10, 20 bucks at a time every time. Roger Lane just donated 20 or 40 memberships. I don't know how many, but every single dime will go to Tom and to Matthew. So you don't have any updates about Tom's health? Because, I don't know when I'm live. I can't check on channels to see if it's...
He's okay. He's good. He's good. He was a little shook up. This is the first time he's ever been in trouble.
He's a veteran of our country, so he put in his time for us to have our freedoms, to stick up for our freedoms. Warren, Team DLZ just threw in 20. John Eagle just threw in 10. So we are raising some money.
This is very nice, Chili. I appreciate this very, very much.
This is how we do it. When I was in the dungeon, they crowdfunded over $60,000 for me, and I had to come out of pocket 15 for 75. But you know what? Without that, it's someone can someone check on that channel for me, the one that just put that super chat in. Can someone check on this channel right here and see if that's an old channel, if that's a new channel? Will you guys check on that? I don't know where Mikey B is, but I could certainly use him right now. That's for sure. I didn't see it, Roger. I didn't see your PayPal donation. Hold on. Give me 1 second, Wendy. Every time something like this happens, I always think about, man, would people help me? And they would actually, and they did. So I feel like it's my duty and my obligation to help people. And it's really sad because there's another activist who's facing a bunch of warrants. And I had already decided that when they finally caught that guy and took him to the dungeon, that I was going to bail him out of jail. And obviously things go funny. So I don't know if some of the people saying things in chat are actually real people or not. I don't know if they are or not. I didn't get it, Roger. I didn't get it. Not on PayPal. There's nothing on PayPal from you, Roger. But Roger Lane's in the room, Wendy. He donates. He buys trifolds. He buys posters. He buys memberships. So
I trust you.
Oh yeah, of course. Kevin just threw in another 20. So we could have we might have up to $1,000 with Chuck putting in 200, Chevy putting in 100. Roger Lane putting in another 100, Walt English put in 100. So if we're just doing the math, I think we're at $500 just in the big ones, right there.
I recognize some of these names, not all of them, but I recognize most of them.
Someone can Radic, aka Ski, just threw in another 99. And there is right there in my PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Brandy Swaney just put it up. Brandy Swaney is one of these people. She donates all the time. She helps all the time. I don't see Danelle Brown in here. Seldwin just threw in another 20. So we're gonna end up raising. We could. I think we're gonna get close to $1,000 here. And then Pro Say David, who's not rich, he just threw in $10 through PayPal. Just so people appreciate what Tom has done, and I will not let those guys sit in a dungeon. I'm going to try to get somebody out there tomorrow. I'm going to try to get somebody out there. Liberty Lens just threw in $5.
I think, last time when I talked to Tom, he said, don't worry. He sounded a little hyped up, because first time, So.
This was his first time being put in torture cuffs and taken down to the dungeon?
Yeah, first time ever being arrested.
Wow.
Yeah. He has never been arrested, and he's never been put in handcuffs. He's never had problems with any police until recently.
Send that over to me, BZ. Can you text that to me and I will put it up on screen? What sucks is that how all your personal information gets strung out across the internet as soon as you get arrested.
Oh yeah.
And Chuck just put in $100 for each one of them. Chuck, in case people don't know, we have a weekly meeting with Team DLZ, a small group of people, or 10 or 12 of us, and we meet every single week. And Tom is there, and Brick is there, and Chuck is there every week, week in and week out. So,
I listen to you guys. If I happen to be at home, I'll listen and hear what's going on. So.
Well, the cool part is I talked to the technologist today, and it looks like we're going to have that crowdfunding available by the end of this month. So, yeah, I am absolutely stoked. I'm looking for my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. I put it up here a second ago. Devin, thanks for joining. I appreciate that, man. Roger Lane, thank you. Sevenfold, thank you.
This is so nice.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. How do you think I feel when I was in jail and I thought that the world had forsaken me? And then I call Brian from Here's the Deal, and he said, we've raised so far almost $60,000. And I was just like, you got to be kidding me, man. Like, holy shit. You're already emotional and you're on edge in that dungeon. And so, and then Tom is going to go through a very uncomfortable, miserable night tonight. He's going to go. It's going to be very painful.
That's what I'm a little worried about.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. What they do typically, and this is in most jails, they put you inside of a holding cell where there's just a wooden bench. And sometimes they'll even put you in like a 5-foot by 8-foot cell with a 7-foot ceiling, and they lock you in there. And when they do that, there's no bed. It's just a hard wooden bench, and you have to sit there, and you get exhausted. You're just absolutely exhausted.
I think that's why he was in pain, and that's the first thing he told them. He says, "Listen, I'm a chronic pain patient," and he, but they were really good. He told me, he says, "No." He says, they've taken care of me. He says, I don't want you to worry. And I said, well, you sound a little different and a little hyped up. And he said, well, I am. He says, he's never gone through anything like this,
Right. Thank you. What's the matter, you? I appreciate you doing that research for me.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Liberty Lens just signed up as a new member. I'm also going to take every new membership and donate it to you guys as well. So I'm going to make sure that I just do everything I can to help out people who are freedom fighters like these guys are. Listen, I got to jump off this phone, Wendy, but I reserve the right to call you back to check on Tom to make sure that he's okay. Let me.
As far as I know, he's okay. He is booked. They did book both of them, and he's going to be there. So.
Okay. I will call you back, Wendy.
There's no bond so far, so probably it'll be tomorrow morning.
Well, we'll find out. We'll get that bond paid. If I have to do another fundraiser tomorrow, I will. So we'll get them out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I might go down with someone here that's visiting here, and she said she's going to go down to the court there in Santa Fe, and she says she'll probably pick me up, and I may go down there.
Absolutely. You absolutely should. You should take off tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. I think, is it a 4-hour drive from Albuquerque?
Yeah, it's not too far. I've been there once, since I've been here. But.
Besides the last time I went to jail, I definitely cried when I was in jail last time. But typically I cry when I get released from jail. And the last time I cried in jail, and then when I got out of jail last time, I didn't cry when I got released. I was like, forget this. Like, I'm biting back. But I had gone through all that sadness for so long that when the time, so he's going to need a hug when he gets out of that dungeon tomorrow.
I'm going to hug both of them.
All right. I got to call Mexican Press and see if he can show up. Oh, wow. Okay. Look at that. The Riddler just donated for Chris Hendren. Wow. The Riddler's put in probably $200 so far on this live stream. So Wow, just a strong group of people. Okay, Wendy, you got my number. You can text me or call me anytime. I'm going to call back this person, and I'm going to double check their channel, make sure they're real, and then I'm going to give them a call back because he's tried to call me, said my voicemail's full. My voicemail's always full. You can't call me. My phone, if you haven't noticed, my phone doesn't ring ever. I pay an app to make sure my phone doesn't ring. It doesn't ding, beep, ring, nothing ever.
Yeah, I think Tom told me that.
No, I won't turn it on. I've turned it off in 2020, and I've never been happier.
Yeah, good. All righty. All right.
Okay.
You take care, Chili, and I appreciate everything you're doing. Okay.
Talk to you soon, Wendy. Bye-bye, hon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, let's do me a favor, guys. Check Mexican Free Press here. Let me make sure that's a real person who has a channel before I call somebody on the phone that I don't know. I haven't talked to Freeman again, but let me see if I can let me go to the channel here. I just have to do my own research here just real fast, and I got to check. There it is. Okay. So I'm checking the Riddler. Thanks so much. You donated. There it is right there. Savet just threw in another $50. Wow. Thanks, Savet. I appreciate that, dude. It's every single dime goes to these people. I talk to these guys week in and week out. I don't make every meeting on Wednesdays, but I make a lot of them. And so I'm trying to find New Mexico Free Press here. There it is. Mexican Free Press right here. Go to channel. Let me make sure this is a real person. That is a real person. They do have 101 videos, so I will call them back.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
This is Chili DeCastro. Thanks, you guys, so much for jumping in. Right on. I saw that. Shout out to James Freeman. Thanks for sending somebody over.
Well,
yo, is this Mexican Free Press?
Yes, it sure is. I am legit. I work for James Freeman a lot, bro.
Okay. Cool. I will check out your channel.
I don't go on people's channels or anything like that, not unless James Freeman hits me up and say, hey, like, if you're in the area, so people need some backing, can you make it there? So James told me to go to your page. I don't know what's going on. I was just at the Roundhouse on Monday. I have videos of me being at the Roundhouse on Monday.
Oh, really? I'm going to go to your channel and I'm going to show some of those videos.
If you go to the live video, there's a video of me on Monday recording at the state capitol.
I see it.
I just need to know the rundown. What happened? What went down?
So Let's TVO, Tom Porwitsky, and Matthew Jones went there to get the oath of office for the cops who went to there. So this is the Roundhouse. This is what the Roundhouse looks like. That's what I'm looking at on your video here.
Yeah, that's the Capitol. Yeah, that's the state Capitol.
So two of our guys who have donated and helped everybody else, they went there to go get the oaths of office from the coppers who had gone to their house for a welfare check to harass them. And so then when they went to the state capitol to get their oaths of office, then what happened was they got arrested. And the coppers gave them their phones in the cell while they were still torture cuffed up. And so I found that out. And then, of course, I immediately went live to raise a little bit of money in case we have to pay for their bond tomorrow. But either way, though, when they get out of jail tomorrow, now they're going to have some money. And what I was hoping was, what I was optimistic about was that we could get a journalist to run over there to their court hearing in the morning. And I'm more than willing to pay gas, throw you a little bit of gas money so you can get over there. And I'll donate that myself to you. I'll give you $50 if you can make it over there, to just make sure that they don't, because if they have a bond, I'm going to take the money that I've collected tonight and I'm going to send it to you through PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, or Zelle. And we got to get them out of the dungeon. We can't leave them in a cage. We can't.
Well, just to give you some insight. In the state of New Mexico, they removed bond. There's no longer bond in the state of New Mexico since 2018. The only way that you get bonded if it's a serious crime. That's the only way you get bonded. But if it's a misdemeanor, there's no bond. You only get bond if it's a felony charge.
Okay.
So it sounds like they got arrested for a misdemeanor.
So does that mean that does that mean that they won't get out at all? Is that what that means?
What happens is they'll go see a judge in the morning. It's an arraignment. They go and plead whatever they're gonna plead, and then the judge will release them on their own recognizance, and then they'll schedule them a court hearing where they have to go in front of court, and then they'll play out or whatever the case might be. I don't know what their charges are.
It's criminal trespass. It's criminal trespass, is what it is.
So who's the complainant? The state?
Yeah, the state. The woman behind the glass at the clerk's office, and the woman behind the glass in the round building that you're talking about here, the state capitol.
Yeah, the roundhouse, the state capitol. Wow.
It looks like you're filming inside the state capitol, though, and there's no problem with you filming there. But if you go and ask for oath of office, apparently that's a crime.
Well, yeah, I recorded everywhere. I went all over the place.
Oh, you went all over the place and you didn't get arrested. But when you go there and ask for oath of office,
I even went inside. I even went inside the Senate because it's legislation. Legislation is currently going on right now in the state of New Mexico. So I do a lot of my main thing is in the city of Espiola. There's a lot of corruption, like there's corruption throughout the nation. But I do a lot of stuff in the city of Espiola because there's a mayor that was charged with severe felony, but the district attorney is a family friend of the mayor, so they dropped the charges. They did a big old team deal. So my major thing is, and then yesterday on Monday was Espanola Day. I went to go.
Everybody get over. Chevy put Mexican Free Press up on here. There's his link. Everybody go subscribe to his channel. Give him a little video love. Put some likes on his videos. Put algorithm. Give him a little bit of love on his channel because he's our local right there in Santa Fe. And then Roger Lane, and then Torrance.
I'm not in Santa Fe. I'm like an hour and 45 minutes away from Santa Fe.
Oh, you're an hour and 45 minutes away. Do you know anybody else in that area that we could send over there? Or either way, if you,
I don't mind going. I just need to know where this place is at, the time and stuff like that.
It'll be at the courthouse.
Hit me up earlier.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of courthouses in Santa Fe, so
okay.
There's like 2 or 3 municipalities, and there's 2 magistrate courts, and then there's a district court.
BZ Watchdog. Did you send me over their booking documents, BZ? I'm checking now. And then let me read off some donations here. Torrance C just sent in $50. Colin D sent in $5. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. We don't stop. We're just gonna try to raise these guys some money so when they get out of the dungeon. And it sounds to me like you're saying that they're going to get out on their own recognizance. Have you heard of people being held for a misdemeanor in New Mexico, in Santa Fe?
I was not in Santa Fe, but in Rio Arriba County. I was arrested at a city council meeting because I was telling the city councilors, fuck you, and I got arrested for disorderly conduct. I spent the night in jail. The next morning, I saw a judge. I pleaded not guilty. The judge went ahead and released me on my own recognizance, and then sent me a letter in the mail when to appear for my court hearing.
Okay.
But there's no bond. If it's a misdemeanor, they're gonna just release them and
I got it, Roger. Thank you. Well, hopefully they just get a court date tomorrow, and then I got Roger Lane's donation. Thank you, Roger. I appreciate it. Thank you, dude. And then I have David V. I got yours. I got Small Miracle Garages. I got your donation. And then, by the way, Free Mexican Press, we're going to cover your gas money at the very minimum there and back. If you need to get like a budget hotel or whatever for $60 for the night, we'll cover your hotel for the night as well. I just want to make sure that we know, and I'm waiting for those documents from BZ Watchdog to see maybe if he knows where that court case is going to. BZ, do I still got BZ on here? Let me text him and see if he sent me those court documents. I'm just court docs, because BZ is really good about getting documents and stuff from the court. So just want to make sure that we can give you the exact correct court to go to.
Is Tommy Wood in your chat by chance?
He was earlier, yeah. Tommy Wood was in the chat earlier.
Oh, Tommy Wood can vouch for me. I know Tommy Wood well. So.
No, you vouch for yourself, man. We saw your channel. I saw your channel. 101 videos. So you're not joking.
And I do a lot of work with James too. Yeah, no, I'm not a poser. I'm not a poser.
Listen, anybody who puts their boots on and walks out on the street and films cops and takes them on is not a poser. Marcy Fox is in the room. Everybody, Jenna Weeks is here.
I don't record cops. I record council members, senators, fucking you name it. I don't do the cop thing. I do more like legislation people, senators, state representatives. I do a lot of shit like
transparency in government.
More government. Yeah, more government than law enforcement.
I still
don't give a fuck about law enforcement, but it all comes from the top to the bottom.
I got both of your donations now, Roger. Roger put in 100 twice. Thank you, Roger. I appreciate it. Chevy put in 100. Chuck put in 200. Walt put in 100. A couple other people put in 100. So I think we're going to be pretty close to $1,000 for these guys when they get out of jail tomorrow, which they're going to need it. They're going to need it. It's hairy. You know that. Going through court is hairy. It sucks. It's expensive and it takes a long time.
Well, I spent 63 years of my life incarcerated.
You spent how many years of your life?
I spent 63% of my life incarcerated.
You've been in jail 63% of your life?
Yeah, since I was a juvenile.
Chevy Bucks.
Until I was 23.
Wow, dude. Chuck P. Wow. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you guys all so much for donating. So then listen, then let me cover your gas back and forth. And if you need to get a $50 hotel or whatever it is, because I know the Santa Fe hotels aren't super expensive. If you got to stay there for the night, we'll cover that too.
They're expensive, bro. You're looking like anywhere from 150 to 200, but I don't need a hotel, bro.
Okay.
I don't need gas money either. I don't need any of that stuff. All I need is where the court's gonna be at and the time is what I need to know before tomorrow.
Wow.
I'm just getting to my house, so if you can text me that information, you have my number. If you can text me that information.
I got it right now.
I can. Okay.
I got it right now. Here's the booking sheets right here. If you text me your email address, it might be easier for me to email this to you.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. But I'll do it offline. I don't want to be doxxed.
Got you. I'm already doxxed, so.
All right. Yeah.
All right, Free Mexican Press.
Protect myself.
You're getting a lot of love in the chat, bro. You're getting a lot of love in the chat. A lot of people appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for subscribing and hitting the like button. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'll send you my email address now. I just got to my residence. And then we'll go from there.
Okay. Thanks. Appreciate your time. Talk to you later tonight when we're offline.
All right, later.
Peace, brother. Wow. Okay. So I have the booking documents. BZ Watchdog. Real quick shout out to BZ. Let me put your name. Make sure you guys get over to BZ's channel. Subscribe. He is working super hard to work full time as an activist. So here are the documents that I have right here. So here's the booking documents. Okay. So we have the first one here. I'm going to drop this over here. And by the way, this is Mexican Free Press. Let me give him a subscription and there's no comments on this video. So here, I'm going to drop this video in the chat real quick. And if you have to leave the live stream to go over there, there's the link for Free Mexican Press video. And thank you, my friend. I'm going to drop the first comment on this video. He's only got 110 views on this stream. He spent 63% of his life incarcerated. That is just insane. There's Mexican Free Press. I subscribed and I dropped a comment. So if you would do the same, that would be absolutely awesome. Okay, so let's take a look at Tom Porwitsky and see what they have for booking documents for him. And this is from BZ Watchdog, who just set this in here. Okay, so I have to type this in NBX13. Okay, there it is. Okay, so there's the booking number for Tom Porwitsky right there. That would be great, Goodfellas Incorporated. That would be great. I haven't seen you in a minute. I think I remember you coming in. Come on, man. Come on, man. $50. I don't know what that means, but so cool. Goodfellas, shoot me an email to deletelaws@gmail.com. Chuck P, I think he's going to go. I mean, and just so you guys, if you guys don't know, Chuck P is working on that board game with me. He's working on that board game. Chuck P is putting in long hours. He's working really hard, doing a lot of work, donating to people, working in artificial intelligence and images creating for the board game Constitution headquarters. There are so many people here that are working so hard. Okay, so there's not much information on Tom Porwitsky's booking page, but that's okay. Roger, I want to say thank you again. David V, Jake, thanks, bro. Chuck, thank you. Chevy, what's up, Playboy? Michael Dolan, Kevin Brzezinski, as usual, chips in on every fundraiser there is. Roger Lane, those are just on PayPal. Let me check Cash App here real quick. And let me just say thank you to a few people. The Riddler who has been donating constantly. Gloria Adkins, Julie Holland, Colin D. Colin D has donated 2 times that I know of. Kareem Radoslawski, he is in here. William B. Kareem Mohammed has donated a couple of times. Mad Hatter, Jennifer McCoy, McCoig, and then let me check PayPal here just real fast. And I think I read these ones. Let me go to Venmo. Dan Hanlon is in the Venmo. Thank you, Dan Hanlon, for donating. Every dime of Jeff Vacone put in 100 as well. Michael D just put in 100. Chris A put in 100. Chris Boudreau donated on every single fundraiser I've ever had. If he's in the room, he donates. Thanks, Chris Boudreau. Chris A just donated. Thank you a lot, Chris. I appreciate it. But Michael D, he put in 100. Jeff Vacone put in 100. Dan Hanlon put it in. Cope Doggy Dog. Mark A, like so many of you guys, thank you so much. And then I have not checked Zelle. I will check Zelle as well. And then I got you, Brandy Swaney. I see you, Brandy Swaney. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then one sec. Okay, cool. All right. All righty then. Jenna Weeks is here. Right on. Thank you. I know you do, Roger. Listen, Roger, wait till you see the board game, dude. Wait till you see the board game. If you really want to learn the Constitution, if you really want to learn the 7 articles of the Constitution, the 27 amendments, and you want to understand the Bill of Rights and understand the Constitution, I have created a game where you can learn it. You can get it on constitutionhq.com. One of the moderators can put Vigilance Committee is in here. What is going on? Good to see you, Vigilance Committee. Thanks for coming by. I got that. Okay, so I will forward over that stuff. Got you, Pro. Say, Jeff hates pigs. Jeff and Claudette here. Claudette is throwing in money. Like, Claudette, thank you. I really appreciate that. What's the matter, you? Kevin Brzezinski, Death Angel, Chris Allen, Jeff hates pigs. And then I have Ms. Metcal, nice to see you. Maddie is in the room. Nice to see you, my friend. I noticed many secret auditors coming in, but not revealing their real name. They're seeing how delete laws power. Interesting. Marcy Fox, always good to see you, Marcy. I appreciate it. Chevy's musical channel is right here. I really appreciate you guys. Okay, listen, I did not plan on going live. I'm trying to get the game finalized to print. That's what I'm trying to get done right now. By this weekend, I will print up the articles, the amendments, the case law, the Supreme Court justices, the founding fathers. Innovations should be done. Innovations should be done. I'm not sure. And then the president, vice president line, so that you guys can truly learn history. And the 225 cases that are in this game so far, if you memorize all of them, you'll know more than me because I don't have them all memorized, but I have memorized probably 150 of them. I still have 75 more to go. That's what I'm doing with my time right now. I'm having long chats with DeepSeek, with ChatGPT, with Grok. I'm sitting here on my phone all day, every day. All day, every day. Death Angel, doesn't matter. The Riddler chipped in for other people today. The Riddler the Riddler, I don't know what you did today, but you did so much money. And I want to say thank you. Listen, I'm going to get the flock out of here. I'm going to call Mexican Press. I'm going to call him right now. And then I think someone, was it Goodfellas? Goodfellas said he could make it over there. Raddick, a.k.a. Ski. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Raddick, for throwing in like you did. That was, you're always amazing. Sal, nice to see you, my friend. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Complying board. I could sit here and say everybody's name 1,000 times and it wouldn't be enough for what you guys have done for me alone. And I'm humbled and I'm grateful. So I'm going to get the flock out of here. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I'll be checking with you guys in the morning when we check on Tom and we check on Matt tomorrow morning. Okay. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, Gators. Chevy, what's up, Playboy? What's up, Playboy?